I'm quite pleased where we are. So I want to show to the persons, to the patrons who are thinking of coming across, you can come on down and have a place where it's safe, and especially where there is food preparation taking place.
We really do appreciate those checks and balances. Now, before you go, looking ahead, now that the basic sanitary facilities are in place, what further sustainable infrastructure or site management plans does the Tobago Water and Trails Association hope to see implemented now at No Man's Land?
Right. So what we want to do is just to ensure that the space stays clean. We want to ensure that there's a proper removal of garbage and stuff like that. So the vendors, from time to time, they would take turns in terms of collecting garbage. It's just about managing who does what. It is something that I'm paying very close attention to. One more thing that we are trying to do, I'm trying to work on a group insurance where the vendors and the operators of the different crafts, jet skis or the reef boats, can have now an insurance that will give a blanket, should anything happen in the future, So the insurance part of it is very, very important to us. We are working with the Coast Guard as well in terms of providing the needed, if they need fuel or anything like that, we assist them. We are trying to repair one of their vehicles so that they can have the patrol, because we want the patrols out there. So we are quite, we are working towards providing a space where it can be self-regulated.
Mr. Alfred, any closing comments before we go?
I would just advise for the patrons who have never been to No Man's Land, who have never been to the reef, to come on down to Tobago and let us see what we are doing. It's quite a nice experience if you've never experienced it, to know that you have a peninsula adjacent to the Golden Grove Estate, which has a lot of owners. But come on down and enjoy the space. Let us see what Tobago has to offer, and you'll be pleased. You have a nice area for food, especially for running water. I know there's a major concern, especially like how you have the cruise ship season coming up. There's going to be a ship with over 5,000 persons, so we want to be ready for that period. And it's all about the business. It's all about maintaining a sustainable jobs on the island.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alfred, for joining us and sharing how these key infrastructure improvements are really transforming the visitor experience at No Man's Land. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Great.
All right. Well, up next, we'll take a quick break and return with more of what's happening in Tobago. Stay tuned to Trinidad and Tobago today on TTT.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
long drives, or house lives.
We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Welcome to 1020 with your truly Junior K. Open day. Big things happening in CTS College. Joining me inside this challenging 1020, we have Charles, of course, MBA student and lecturer. Are you ready? 10 reasons in 20 seconds why somebody should attend CTS College.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Eh? Really? The clock is ticking. Begin.
All right, so you have daycare, primary school, preschool, secondary school, tertiary education. It's convenient, it's flexible. There's a lot of payment plans that's available. A lot of the courses available online, and most importantly, student support like crazy.
Oh, with 3 seconds left, watch now, Charles. You aced it. Big up to CTS College, man. 10:20.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Disaster preparedness is more than just emergency supplies. It's about equipping minds and bodies and local networks before a crisis hits. To build a stronger Tobago, the Division of Health and Wellness and TEMA are hosting the Building Resilient Communities Workshop on Wednesday, August 26th at Shore Park Complex. And joining us now to discuss how this event will empower local communities are Senior Local Services Officer Rashana Trim and TEMA Program Officer Melissa Yearwood-Jack. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Very good.
I am well.
All right. And how's Tobago today?
It's a little rainy.
Overcast, yeah.
After all the heat, I actually don't mind that one bit these days. But as we're talking about the weather and, about everything that can come from the weather, what is the purpose of the Building Resilient Communities 2026 workshop? And ladies, why is mental well-being central to disaster preparedness?
So basically, the workshop was designed to strengthen disaster readiness within communities, families, organizations through 3 connected areas. So we're talking about mind, body, and community, as you would have said. So what this workshop basically would do is to equip individuals with the practical knowledge on local hazards, how to identify local hazards, how to protect physical health, maintain emotional stability, and to coordinate safety during emergencies. So we talk about mental well-being. Usually when we talk about disaster, we think about emergency kits, we talk about infrastructure, preparing your infrastructure for impeding disaster. And so with mental well-being, it's an integral aspect of disaster preparedness because a person's psychological state directly affects the way they make decisions and the way that they would adhere to certain information. And so mental well-being is very important to disaster preparedness. So when people are psychologically prepared, they are better able to regulate their emotions. And so this is what this workshop is geared towards.
Well, Rashana, what practical steps can individuals and families take to manage that fear and that stress and the anxiety you're talking about before, during, and even after, and especially after a disaster?
One, I always say knowledge is power. Being aware of what is happening, right? And we also have to monitor how much information we are taking in, because sometimes this information can actually overwhelm us and give us anxiety, right? 2, create a plan, and not just create that plan, but execute that plan. And so sometimes when we think about a disaster preparedness plan, we don't necessarily include children or include persons who are deemed vulnerable. And so creating a plan that includes children if you have children in your household, and vulnerable population if you have somebody living with a disability within your household. And so that's one of the many different things. Additionally, staying calm, because we find with a disaster plan, most people are a bit shaken up by it. We have anxiety. We don't know how to cope. So staying calm, engaging in breathing techniques. Another thing is also staying connected, especially to persons that can keep you calm. All right, because with a disaster that we experience a lot of emotions, a plethora of emotions. Additionally, if you are experiencing those emotions after a disaster, seek help. All right. So yes.
Now, Melissa, what are the main hazards that are facing Tobago right now, and what should residents do to prepare?
So when we think about hazards, normally people associate preparing for emergency to preparing for a hurricane or earthquake or a big storm. But you should also always look at the hazards in your area. You are the one that live in your area. So in Tobago, the main hazards normally are landslides and flooding, but you know your area better than most. So if you know that your area is more flooding prone, then it's landslide prone, you should be able to talk to your family. And as Rishana said, have a family communications plan. The plan is not one size fits all. All plans are subjective to how you are, for your family dynamics, and what hazards affecting your area. So if you know that, for example, you live in a place, in a village in Castara or in Roxborough, where it's the hazards are normally landslides, you talk to your family about if you can't go home because of a landslide, or you build your home in a way that is resilient to landslides because you are in an area where your home and your family is getting affected by that. So just like Shana said, a family communications plan, as always say, is very important, because you need to tailor that plan to yourself. In the workshop, we're going to talk about people with disabilities, people with mental illnesses. So you know what is your triggers in your family, and if there's a landslide, for example, how do you get your the person with the disability out of the area, because that will have a particular challenge. So our plan is not one size fits all. You have to sit down and plan for your particular family units.
Melissa, staying with that now, what essential items and arrangements should every household include in its emergency kit and a family emergency plan?
Well, but as usual, we talk about non-perishable items, food, water, but you have to think about things that might be usual. For example, right now you should always have a battery powered radio. We always say the two things that normally go down in an emergency is electricity and telecommunications. And most of us don't even have a landline at home anymore. So we depend heavily on our cell phone. How do you get the news? How would you know where the food hub is? What do you know what the government is doing for you? The radio is normally the last line of communications to go down, and it's very important that you stay up to date with what is happening in the country. So I always advocate for a battery-powered radio. We spoke about the plan being subjective, being something for you. So you know if you have something like diabetes and you need a extra cooler for your medication, for example, those things may need to be cool. So you need to be able to make sure that you maybe have a little cooler. So if you get a little ice, you have your medication on ice, things like that. So even though we talk about the candles, the non-perishable items, a lot of people miss, like a woman, you need to have your sanitary items. You don't really think about, okay, it might last 2 days, it might last 2 months. What is my family subjective needs? Do I need if we have something like a baby, do you have enough items for that baby to last a few months? Because we don't really think, okay, a baby, we talk about food, water, we don't think about things that we need for a toddler or for the person with disability, or even as a woman, we might think we might need to stock up on sanitary items for 6 months, right? You might think you might need it, and one month might do. But the lessons learned from places like Grenada that experienced burial in 2014 is that happened, and they didn't really get up and going for almost a year. We had to help them, and people were living in tents for months or even a year. So you need to recognize, okay, this is the type of danger you are in. We always say God is a Trini, but as I always say, God might be a Trini, but God may not be a Tobagonian, because we had Hurricane Flora. So you need to understand that we where we sit and how the hurricane may affect you.
Roshana, before we go, can you briefly tell our viewers about the workshop now, and when is this taking place?
Okay, so the workshop is on the 26th of August, and it will be taking place at the Shaw Park complex on the second floor. And so if you're into the healthcare system, you're just a community member, or your organization, it fits right into what we are doing. You can reserve your seating.
Okay, ladies, thank you very much for joining me this morning, and all the best in the workshop, and we'll talk to you very soon. All right, have a great Tobago Day. That was Roshana Trim and Melissa Yearwood Jack, and they really just spoke about that Building Resilient Communities workshop. And as Roshana said, it takes place Wednesday, August 26th at the Shaw Park complex, starting at 8 a.m. And if you're a community leader, you're an NGO, anybody can actually attend, and you can get all of the information on their page. Well, Carrie's up next with a major network news. A break before that. See you inside hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Being connected, it means a lot, because first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel, and I never regretted it.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol. You need to stop cigarette smoking. You gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. For Trinidad and Tobago, achieving net zero requires minimizing emissions and creating a balance between emissions released and emissions removed. Under the Paris Agreement, TNT has formally nationally determined contributions. One of them is reducing public greenhouse gas emissions by 15% by the year 2030. On Wednesday, the Ministry of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development, the Environmental Management Authority, and the British High Commission launched a report to guide TNT towards that goal. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Sanjay Singh, noted that the push toward net zero presents an opportunity.
The transition to a low-carbon economy should not be viewed as an obstacle to development, rather a catalyst for economic transformation, innovation, competitiveness, and resilience. This presents opportunities to create new industries to generate sustainable employment, strengthen food security, and improve resource efficiencies to enhance the quality of life for all citizens.
Britain's High Commissioner to TNT, John Dean, shared a significant finding from the report.
These reports, in collaboration with the Ministry of Planning and the EMA, is part of that wider partnership. What makes the reports particularly valuable is that they start from a position of opportunity. As they outline, Trinidad and Tobago already has significant natural assets in its forests, wetlands, and ecosystems, which remove more carbon from the atmosphere than the sector emits.
It is expected to help shape policies and strategies aimed at reducing emissions, strengthening environmental sustainability, and advancing the country's climate goals. In other news, as Tobago Carnival enters its 5th year, stakeholders are measuring success by more than just sold-out events and large crowds. While fetes, brunches, boat rides draw major numbers of visitors, the promoters say staging events in Tobago comes with significant operational costs, making long-term sustainability and economic impact just as important as attendance figures. Recognizing these challenges, the Tobago Promoters Association has been advocating for greater support from key stakeholders. Among its efforts is engagement with the Copyright Music Organization of Trinidad and Tobago, or COT, seeking reduced licensing fees over the next 2 years to help ease operational costs.
So you get 10% discount for being a member, 5% for applying for the COT license early, and an additional 5% if you're doing more than one event for the year.
Vice President of the Tobago Promoters Association, Quincy Trim, said they have been looking at ways to increase the margins between overheads and profits while still delivering quality carnival events.
Smaller events, they won't be paying exorbitant amounts for your COT license, for your police bill, because now, because of the historical data that we have shown and presented to the stakeholders, they could give a better and more fair assessment when it comes to the distribution of resources.
This year, approximately 65 events have been scheduled between September 24th and November 3rd. These include Trinidad Carnival staples such as Stink and Dutty and Bacchanal Brunch. And in some sport now, Paris Saint-Germain captured their second UEFA Super Cup title with a 2-1 victory over Aston Villa at the Red Bull Arena in Austria on Wednesday. The reigning Champions League holders, PSG, took an early lead, with Villa responding just before halftime when 17-year-old Maggio announced himself with a composed equalizer. In the second half, Warren Doué delivered the decisive blow, timing his run perfectly to restore PSG's lead. Despite Villa's spirited effort, PSG's side held firm to secure back-to-back European silverware. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back after the break, it's our number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Stay tuned.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. It has been a fantastic 2026 so far, and the Word of God has just been unraveling in ways that we can only imagine. So I don't want you to miss out. Remember, every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. right here. Looking forward to being with you.
We're now on the cusp of learning how AI is interacting with the tools that we have been using. So now increasingly, we're using AI to fine-tune both the treatments that we're giving and also to help us with the complex decision-making.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Resilient, brave, worthy. 12 majestic women, 12 majestic journeys. Majestic Makeover Season 3, coming soon to TTT and TTT Live Online.
Majestic Makeover Season 3 is powered by...
Coming up on Caribbean Passport, it's pulsating energy, deep cultural traditions. It's none other than Barbados crop over. Being at one with nature is no problem in Antigua and Barbuda, so let's swim with the stingrays. Fashion that's all-inclusive. And Caribbean tourism is at the forefront in Guyana. Be viewing Caribbean Passport as we explore the beauty of our region, right here on this station.
The Mother Church of the Anglican Diocese suffered significant damage during the earthquake of 2018. Efforts are underway to raise funds to restore this national heritage site. You are invited to make your donations with monthly deposits at any branch of the First Citizens Bank, account number 2696950, Marval Road Branch, in the name of the Incorporated Trustees of the Anglican Holy Trinity Cathedral Restoration.
Welcome back to Tobago Thursday on Trinidad and Tobago Today. We hope you've been having a wonderful morning, and if you are in the Sister Isle today, well, you are absolutely lucky to wake up to those beautiful beaches and of course that lovely weather that we heard you're experiencing today. We really do love Tobago. Speaking of loving Tobago, we've got a special I Love Tobago for you this morning. 250 years ago, Tobago led the way in developing environmental policy. British parliamentarians debated and passed an ordinance that to this day ensures the legal protection of the Main Ridge Forest Reserve. In this I Love Tobago segment, Caricia Douglas delves into the significance of this groundbreaking legal decision and explore the island's grand plans to celebrate this historic milestone.
Tobago's Main Ridge Forest Reserve stands as the oldest legally protected rainforest reserve in the Western Hemisphere. On April 30th, 1776, the island made history by pioneering environmental conservation and preservation through the passage of an ordinance that legally established the reserve as a protected area. Now, 250 years later, Tobago celebrates this historic milestone. We spoke with Secretary of the Environment, Climate Resilience and Energy, Darren Henry, at his office, where he took us down memory lane to the genesis of this momentous occasion.
So in 1765, the Main Ridge Forest Reserve was officially established. What happened? A minister in government by the name of Simon Jennings, Minister for Plantation and Estates, he and his friend, Mr. Hales would have convinced him that
there is a correlation between trees and rainfall. So Mr. Jennings would have fought 11 years from 1765 to 1776 to have the legislation proclaimed in terms of the Mainridge Forest Reserve legally becoming a forest reserve, which was the first ever conservation effort in the Western Hemisphere.
In 1776, the ordinance was passed, paving the way for strict measures to preserve this natural treasure. Now leading environmental policy efforts in Tobago, Secretary Henry noted that the movement, undertaken 250 years ago, demonstrated true commitment and foresight.
If those guys 250 years ago did not do that, and it wasn't that the guy was really interested in the environment, his friend who was a researcher convinced him that this is what is needed, and he agreed, and he fought for 11 years and he got it, and we all now are reaping the benefits of such an act.
This historic action deserves recognition, according to Mr. Henry, who emphasized that protecting the Mainridge Forest Reserve remains critical to sustaining life in Tobago.
Someone thought it fit or had the vision to keep it because it would have destroyed the other ecosystems in the island. The rich reef effect. The Mainridge is linked to the fishing industry. It's linked to the tourism industry. It's linked to the whole environment aesthetics and the whole purity of the Tobago environment. So that Mainridge is very critical to us because we talk about carbon sequestration, we talk about water infiltration and water production for us to use potable water. And it is without that, all the beaches that we enjoy on the Atlantic side and the Caribbean side would not have been as pristine as it is without that Mainridge Forest Reserve.
Amid ongoing efforts to preserve the rainforest, climate change continues to pose a serious threat. However, Mr. Henry also lamented the impact of harmful human activities. As part of efforts to engage and include the public while honoring this milestone, 4 days of activities have been planned. With final preparations underway, we joined the chairman of the Mainridge 250 Committee, Virmala Balkaran, who shared insight into the upcoming celebrations. Activities begin on Monday, April 27th with an official launch.
So we're partnering with the University of the West Indies through their bioresilience program, and they will be coming to share some information with us as well in terms of ecosystem and biodiversity. We also have our very own wildlife department right here in Tobago hosting a mural competition.
While many were not present in 1776 to witness debates among British parliamentarians, the committee is ensuring the public gets a glimpse of that historic moment. On Tuesday, students from secondary schools across the island will bring it to life. Promoting an all-hands-on-deck approach, Tobago House of Assembly officials will also participate in activities within the forest.
On Wednesday, we're taking those persons into the forest, into the Mainridge, for a bird banding exhibition where they'll learn a scientific study that is happening with birds, and we're also taking them on a guided tour of the forest.
And on April 30th, marking 250 years since the ordinance was passed, a moment of reflection will be observed with a unique ceremonial element.
So we have this capsule is going to be relayed from one forester to the next, and it ends at the Mainridge Center. At the Mainridge Center now we're going to have the various dignitaries there to receive this capsule and install it. When they install the capsule, we'll have a brief ceremony, and then one of our partners, TTAL, Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, they actually sourced a replica of the actual ordinance from in England. So we'll have an unveiling of the ordinance at the Mainridge Center as well.
I am Carissa Douglas for TTT News, and I love Tobago.
Thank you so much, Carissa. And as the holiday season winds down, transitioning back to the classroom can really bring a mix of excitement and, of course, anxiety for both students and parents. Preparing for a new school term takes more than just buying uniform and books. It requires mental readiness, healthy routines, and emotional support. So how do we prepare our children for the upcoming school term? Marital and family therapist Lana Kurjo joins us this morning. Good morning, Lana. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. Doing well.
Good. So, Lana, why is it important for parents to begin preparing children mentally and also emotionally before the new school term begins?
So, one thing we have to understand, the new school term can be a time of excitement for many children. But for others, it can be a time of anxiety and nervousness. So while it is important to prepare the school supplies and the uniforms, we also have to ensure that our children are mentally and emotionally prepared, especially those who may be starting a new school, transitioning to a new class, meeting a new teacher. Also, those who may be facing new academic challenges, we have to ensure that they are ready. And that might look like having conversations with our children, beginning to establish routines, providing reassurance that could calm that anxiety, because then we have increased confidence for our children, reduced stress for us as parents, and then it promotes a positive attitude towards learning. And all of this would aid in a smooth transition into the new school term.
And how can parents help children to transition now from that, relaxed holiday feeling and that routine back into now a more rigid school routine?
So the key to that, we have to begin early with establishing or re-establishing a routine. So about 3 weeks before the start of school, it is important to start to move the bedtime up. Because I know for many parents, we give a little leeway during the holiday. Children go to bed later, they wake up later. But it's important to start introducing a wake-up time. So we move the bedtime up a bit earlier. We also move the wake-up time up as well, so that when it comes to the start of school, it's not a stressful time trying to get the children up and get them prepared. Also, we have to start introducing academics into the daily routine. So that might look like introducing children and exploring textbooks with them. It might look like introducing a daily reading routine, giving them simple math problems. All these things to start introducing the academics. For children who would be visiting or starting a new school, it's important to visit the school, at least drive by, so that they could see this is where I will be going in September. As far as possible, if parents could find out who the new teacher would be, so that it's not a surprise to children, they get familiar with the teacher's name. Also, we need to talk about expectations. Expectations for their first day of school, what they expect it to look like. Expectations in terms of their goals, what goals they want to set. How they feel about the new school term. Talk to them about what subjects they would be doing, whether in the new class or at their new school. Also, identify a back-to-school schedule with the children. So what time they think is reasonable, or we both think is reasonable for wake up, for preparing for school in the morning, having breakfast. We have to look at leisure time in the afternoon, what time we will specify for homework, meal time, bedtime. Even discussing transportation plans, all these things go towards preparation. And then finally, the night before school starts, we need to organize the uniform, pack the book bags and accessories. All these things would help with preparation. The goal is not to overwhelm the children, but to help them feel that school is something that they can approach with confidence.
And what role now should children play in preparing for the new school term?
And I love that question, because sometimes we get so carried away in preparing things and we are packing the bags, but we need to ensure that the children are also a part of that process. So they can help with preparing their school supplies, right? They may not be able to wrap the books, but they can help us in passing the books. As we do the wrapping, they can assist with labeling the book. They can assist in packing their school bag the night before. Even for the younger ones, simply putting the books in the bag, that could be their role and function. Making sure that all their school supplies are ready, their undergarments, shoes, socks. Even helping with meal planning and prepping, because we know nutrition is important, and that first breakfast to get them started for the new school term, that can be planned ahead of time with input from the child. So all these things can involve the children and be a shared activity for parents and children.
And how can parents now support children who may be experiencing back-to-school anxiety? I know we've all been there, and hopefully we can help out the parents this morning.
Yes, definitely. So the first thing that parents can do, listen. If a child comes to you and they tell you they feel nervous, anxious about starting school, listen. We don't want to invalidate their feelings, right? So hear them out. Then let them know, I understand what you're telling me, right? Validate those feelings. Be curious and ask some questions. If there's anything they're saying to you that you're not clear on, you don't understand. And simply asking questions lets your child know that you are curious and you are interested in what they are experiencing. Then we help them identify solutions. So based on what they are saying the challenge may be and what has them feeling anxious and nervous, we can discuss with them and plan how we can deal with these situations. And most importantly, we need to stay calm as parents. We need to manage our anxiety because very often we may be feeling nervous about that new transition and pass that on to the children. So it's important to stay calm as well, listen, and just be attentive and be present with our children.
Well, Anna, my final question for you this morning. What do you want every child now to really hear from their parent before they walk through the school gates on their first day that's coming up?
I think it's important for every child to know or to hear reassurance from the parents. So hear that you are loved, that you are capable of great things, and that as a parent, I will be there to listen and to provide support for you at the end of the school day. For many children, that would make a huge difference because they would know that no matter what challenges they may have faced or may face during the school day, there is somebody waiting there with love, with support to greet them and to just calm their fears at the end of the school day.
Thank you so much, Lana, and for sharing those valuable insights with us today. Thank you very, very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Take care.
And as our students head back to school, just a kind word and a little extra affection and paying attention to, their anxiety and all of that can really make a huge difference. For this and more, you can head across to TTT Live online to access everything that you see here on the show. Up next, we take a quick commercial break and then we head over to Dominica. So stay tuned.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on,
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba vijani. Oh, shun mi ba.
Well, as promised, we're heading to Dominica this morning. How about a trip there? Beautiful Dominica, don't you agree? And this morning we are talking about Dominica's destination sales mission in Trinidad. It's taking place from the 13th to the 18th of August 2026. And joining us this morning we have Monel Alexis, Communications and Public Relations Specialist at the Discover Dominica Authority. Good morning, Monel, and welcome.
Good morning to you, and good morning to all the listeners and viewers of Trinidad and Tobago Today. And we're happy to be here in Trinidad. Trinidad is a beautiful country, as beautiful as Dominica, the nature island. So good morning to you, and good morning to all your viewers.
Yeah, I haven't been to Dominica, but definitely that's on my bucket list.
It should be. In fact, you should want to follow Marshall Montano and Fulton to Dominica in October, because in October we're having the World Creole Music Festival, and they will be performing on our main stage. So that's a great opportunity for you to come across, as well as everyone in Trinidad and Tobago. We have space. Come through.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about that music festival. For now, I want to start by asking you to tell us a little bit about the mall activations that are currently happening or about to happen.
So yes, Dominica, we're here, Discover Dominica Authority, as well as different tourism stakeholders. We're here in Trinidad for a sales mission. So we're here to present the destination, make persons more aware of Dominica, our activities, accommodations, different products and services that we offer. So of course, we get to increase persons' arrival or visitor arrival to Dominica. So as part of our activations, we'll be at 3 different malls from today on to Saturday. So today, Thursday, we'll be at West Mall from 2 to 7 p.m. On Friday, Eastgate Mall from 1 to 7 p.m. And on Saturday, from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. we'll be at C3 Center. What can you do? What can you learn? One, of course, as I mentioned earlier, you get to meet our team. You get to learn all things Dominica, all the adventure, the activities. You get to meet different stakeholders, be it accommodation providers and different individuals who have different products and services here in Dominica. In addition to that, at every mall, individuals will have an opportunity to win season tickets to the World Creole Music Festival. Yes, they're on sale right now for only $192, but at the mall, you have an opportunity, two persons have an opportunity to win tickets at each mall this week from, of course, as I mentioned, Thursday to Saturday. And there's other giveaways and activities that will be happening at the different malls. So we encourage everyone to come across, come and see what's going on, learn more about the destination, and get a trip to Dominica for the World Creole Music Festival.
Well, let's talk about that festival now. What do we need to know about that festival for those of us thinking that we should take that trip?
Yes, you should take that trip to Dominica for the World Creole Music Festival. This is the biggest event in Dominica on our calendar. And this year we have two artists from Trinidad and Tobago. Before I mention that, Dominica, we do have several events. Just recently, earlier this year, we had our gospel festival. We had artists from Trinidad at our gospel festival. So we love Trinidadians. We always ensure when we're having major events, we have an artist from Trinidad in Dominica for our festivals. So the World Creole Music Festival, the biggest one, you don't want to miss it. We have Marshall Montano performing in Dominica. Full Blood is coming through as well. In addition to that, we do have different artists performing. We have Neo out of the United States, Maxi Priest out of the United Kingdom. From Jamaica, there's Alkaline, Skilly Bang, Capleton. From Haiti, America, we have Friday. From South Africa, Uncle Waffles. From Haiti, there's Class Table Combo. Out of Guadeloupe, there's Lazy Glon, Jean-Marc Ferdinand, Eddie. From Martinique, Maureen Voyer. Out of the Democratic Republic of Congo, there's Diblo Debala. From Grenada, we have Vaughn, St. Lucia. We have DYP Band with Shemi J, Taliboy, Sidale, Hollywood HP, Nerdy, Andrew Biscuit, Ezra the Fun Machine. And out of Dominica, by the way, Dominica, we consider Dominica to be the land of Bouillon. By the way, thank you to all the Trinidadians who have been supporting Dominica's music, Bouillon music over the years. Come through to the land of Bouillon because we love Bouillon music and you do too. For our artists, you'll see artists like Asa Banton, Signal Band, Ecstasy Band, Colton T, Ridge, Pudas, Rio, Nice, Guadaji, Shacks, Trilogy. Also have Midnight Groovers, TK International out of Dominica. And we also have some DJs throughout America and the Caribbean, such as Oso City, Kevin Krong, Optimistic Sounds, DJ Outcast, and a whole host of other artists performing. Listen, and for the World Creole Music Festival, it's a daybreak event. So we start about 8 p.m. in the evening and we end about 8 a.m. in the morning.
Wow, that's a full night.
Yes, and that happens for 3 nights. So we consider it to be 3 nights of pulsating rhythms. In fact, a lot of persons consider the festival as a challenge. They try to challenge themselves to see if they can spend 3 nights up back to back more than 12 hours a week.
Sure, it can be done.
You can do that.
Yes.
Definitely.
So when you're visiting for all of this, what else is there to do in Dominica while you're there?
So there's lots to do in Dominica while you're there. For one, it's not just a festival, the World Creole Music Festival, again, October 23rd to the 25th. In addition to this festival, before and after the festival, there's an ecosystem of activities taking place surrounding that festival. So there's lots of events before the event and there's lots of events after the events. And in between, you are invited to explore the nature island. One, our people, you will enjoy engaging our people. We're warm, we're friendly, and we can assist you with different things that you want on the island. Secondly, think nature. Dominica is a nature island of the Caribbean. If you're into waterfalls, we have 12 waterfalls that you can explore. You're into rivers, we have 365 rivers. You will not get a chance to get into each river while in Dominica for the World Creole Music Festival, but you can explore one of our rivers. If you're into hiking, we have a 14-segment hiking trail that takes you throughout the entire island. If you like being on the water, you can do a 14-segment kayak trail on the water. We have over 250 sperm whales. If you want to see a sperm whale, you can do that in Dominica, and with a certified guide, you can actually go swimming with the sperm whales. Yes, you can do that. It is safe to do that with a guide, of course, not by yourself. If you're into a hot spa and after the festival you want to relax and unwind. So we have different hot spas that you can soak in and think, you want sulfur water, you want mineral water, you want natural water. You have options in Dominica to explore and relax and unwind. So Dominica, there's lots to do, horseback riding. If you want to go sailing, bird watching, different activities, you can do that in Dominica while you're here for the World Creole Music Festival.
So let's talk about how we get there now. I would like to know, how do we travel to Dominica?
Traveling to Dominica, before I go into that, I want to say thank you very much to Caribbean Airlines on behalf of the Ministry of Tourism and the Discover Dominica Authority for their support in accessing or getting people to Dominica from Trinidad in the past. And as of October 5, Trinidad and Tobago individuals can get to Dominica compliments Contour Airlines. Their rates are very affordable. It's as low as 100 and I believe 92 US dollars will get you to Dominica, rather $160 US, one way to Dominica for the World Creole Music Festival. And of course, that starts from October 5th. So come early to Dominica, explore the nature island, stay for the festival, bring your friends, bring your family. And just to note, Dominica is a very safe country. In fact, for Carnival last year, this year's Carnival, there were no arrests in Dominica during Carnival.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. So this is as safe as it gets. So, and in Carnival, people are very comfortable. They are free. People come to Dominica. Solo travelers come to Dominica. They come with their families, and everyone feels safe on the nature island. And talking Carnival, Carnival in Dominica is happening next year, this 8th and the 9th of February. So if you cannot make it to Dominica this October for the World Creole Music Festival, come through next year for Mass Dominica's Carnival. This is one of the authentic, pure celebrations of the nature island. Yes, we do have the pretty feathers and all these exciting things, but you will see lots of elements that are true to Dominica, like the senseis, the bois, the big bottom ladies. We have all these different elements that are true to Dominica's culture and history throughout our carnival celebration.
Get there with Contour Airlines
Definitely.
as well. Well, thank you so much, Monal, for being here. All the best in the destination sales mission in Trinidad. We look forward to seeing you maybe at the mall activations. And we can get more information about all of this via
discoverdominica.com and also Discover Dominica on Facebook and Instagram, and also Dominica Festivals. If you're looking for festivals, then it's dominicafestivals.com. You can get tickets and all the details about the festivals at dominicafestivals.com, and also Dominica Festivals on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much for allowing us to have this interview.
You're most welcome. Thank you for being here and sharing a little slice of Dominica with us this morning. 7:36, that's the time. A quick break, and then there's more.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Shabadi. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive Home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Being connected, it means a lot because first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on, you know.
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
On Thursdays, we connect with our friends over on Sweet 100.1 FM. Of course, this is a link up where we bridge that space between TV and radio and just check in to see what's happening on the other side. It's time now for the link up.
Today, good morning, Sweet.
This is the Link Up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
Good morning, Nicholas and Mark. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Wow, it sounds like it's a really good morning across there.
It's a good morning. It's always a good Thursday morning whenever we link up with Virmala, isn't it?
Oh, how
Good morning,
sweet.
Virmala. How are we doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you? How is the
Nice.
week winding down for you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Productive week and looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, it was definitely a long week. I feel like time is flying. Do you realize we're almost at the end of the year already? Well, I know you know this because you all have a Christmas countdown.
Rushing the year, you're rushing the year, Virmala.
She's a Christmas girl also too. Huh?
Okay,
I know.
okay.
Well,
She's a
also my
Christmas
birthday is right before Christmas, so maybe that's what I'm
Just throw it in there. Just throw it in there.
Just letting you know
gift?
that that week for a link up, will be extra special because I will be collecting my, birthday wishes.
So you can just leave it as a Christmas one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 and 1? 2 and 1?
No, one.
Listen to me.
Just
When
one.
I was-
Just
when
one.
I was growing up, I would be so sad when I would get one present. Your aunties and your uncles would come and say, Hannah, hold this for Christmas and your
hold
birthday
this
one
one
time.
Yeah. Then
Come on.
Nicholas is
Do not mix up the
Nicholas
two
is deceiving
birthdays in December, right? There's a great birthday and then there's my birthday as well, and don't mix them up.
Yeah.
I need two
Nicholas said
presents.
he's a two-gift man though. Nicholas said he wants two gifts.
I mean,
birthday and Christmas.
Well, I don't have a choice, and also, growing up, I would have an exam on my birthday. I would always have end of term tests,
Oh my goodness.
and it would always be a math test.
My goodness. Well, Nick, you should give Virmala two gifts this year, and Virmala can give Nick two gifts this year.
Nick, when is your birthday?
The 29th of December.
I
4
know
days
this.
after
I know
Christmas.
you're a December baby too. And Mark, what about you?
July, the best month of the
Wow.
year.
Oh, so we just missed your
27th.
birthday.
July the 27th.
Listen, we missed your birthday and
that's
you
the
said
only good thing
nothing that week. That's when you... Yeah, exactly. That's the day you went missing and you didn't tell us where you were going. You said you went to sweat in San Fernando.
I was here.
No,
I
he
was
was
here. I was here.
he was here and I outed him on air. I told everybody it was his birthday. And and people who didn't know found out. That
Oh,
it
he's
was
very
his birthday.
shy. He doesn't want people to know it's his
I'm a
birthday.
shy guy,
Oh no.
You know that.
Mark,
I'm a
you
real
are
shy
not. Mark,
I
you
am
are
a
not
shy guy. People don't know that about me, I am a really, really shy
Because you don't leave room for them to think that you're shy.
because I pick up a lot of space. That's why, because I pick up a lot of space. But
Your
we working on that.
personality is so lovely that it picks up the best amount of space.
But thank you very much for that. And for that, 2 gifts this year.
Look at that. So I
2
expect
gifts for you.
I expect a nice gift on the 6th of December, and then I expect a little 25th gift. Speaking
I knew it was the 6th. I knew it was the 6th.
you knew, of course you knew
You
that.
didn't know. You didn't know,
it
Mark.
was the 6th, Nick.
Mark, you didn't know.
Well, we
You
should
didn't
probably
know.
have
Don't try that.
a dual celebration for us as well, Nick. Well, speaking of Christmas, so how's the countdown to Christmas going on Sweet 100? You know, that's all things Christmas.
Well, before we even get there, we have an event coming up next week, Wednesday.
Tell me about
which
it.
is called Wednesday Love, Love Under the Stars. And it's if you can, because I know you always have an early morning. The Thursday morning is an early morning for you. But if you can, jump out for a little 5 minutes. And we will also let everybody know that your birthday is coming up and you're expecting 2 gifts. We have a wonderful cast of
And where is it
stars.
taking place?
It's taking place at Rock Back on the Bay.
So we're taking our Wednesday Love theme that we do on air all throughout the year, and we're doing a live version of it at Rockback. And so it's going to be a lovely night.
I heard that's a lovely location as well, because you had an event there before.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and I heard everyone had a great time, so we're looking forward to that.
Yes, so we're inviting single persons, we're inviting the couples to come out. Tickets are only $100 if you're single, and $150 if you are a couple.
Or come with a friend.
Come with a
You'd rather
friend.
be couple.
A
2 on 1.
Friend.
Yeah, they said fishermen and fisherwomen.
So 2 on 1 and then single ticket. So it's up to you.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. And anyone needing that information can head across to Sweet 100.1 FM's social media, and the information is there for you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Enjoy your day
take
also.
care. That was the link up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
Today, good morning, Sweet.
This is The Link Up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
The Kuva-Tabaki Talpower Regional Corporation has activated its disaster management unit as flooding affects several communities. And up to late last evening, Chairman Rayad Ramprasad said teams were on the ground in Claxton Bay, Gasparillo, Calcutta and Kuva, assisting affected residents and monitoring the situation. Sandbags were also being prepared and distributed to residents in flood-affected areas as the corporation continued its response. And now we have a response from the Chairman Ramprasad that he sent to us on Trinidad and Tobago today.
Identified certain areas where emergency works have to take place this morning. 2 areas we identified unregulated development. It went unnoticed. These are developments in back roads where people are filling lands without permission, without the proper guidance. And they have caused clogging of some waterways in those communities. And this morning we will be deploying equipment in the areas where we can do so. And in other areas we'll be following up with Town and Country and the other relevant authorities to regulate these developmental works. So we continue this morning with our work. We head back out to the fields this morning with our disaster management team and our workforce, identifying those areas where the water courses would have been clogged. We are also working along with the Drainage Division under the Ministry of Works, under the guidance of Minister Jolene John, and we'll continue to bring the necessary support to those burgesses who would have been affected.
Thank you so much, Chairman Ramprasad, for that response. We take a quick break and we come back and the show gets ready to wrap up.
This August, join TTT as we celebrate emancipation through a month of culture, history, and entertainment. In collaboration with the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, experience the Pan-African Festival as it unfolds across your screens. Beginning with the historic Emancipation Ceremony, live from downtown Port of Spain on August 1st, Emancipation Day, TTT brings you a month-long lineup of festival highlights, including the Youth Band Extravaganza, Pan-African Night Concert, Unity Reggae Concert, and much more. Delve into our history, heritage, and the contributions of our African descendants through powerful documentaries that preserve stories of resilience, identity, and legacy. Plus, enjoy a selection of entertaining films and dramatic stories to round out your viewing experience. This August, connect with the culture, the stories, and the moments on TTT and ttt.live/stream.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
For 3 years, Tobagonian Luke James Trim has taken an unapologetic island perspective to the highest levels of regional diplomacy as CARICOM Youth Ambassador. And last night, he delivered his farewell address at the Tobago Youth Awards. And he joins us now to reflect on his impactful tenure and to share what's next in his advocacy journey. Good morning, Luke, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to the TTT family. I am so excited to be here. This is a very interesting way for anyone to start their morning before they go to work.
I agree. And Luke, you delivered your official farewell address, and I can only imagine there was some emotion there as CARICOM Youth Ambassador at the Tobago Youth Awards. So as you close now your 3-year chapter, what emotions and reflections are coming up now at the forefront of your mind?
You know, when I sit here and I think about my 3-year journey, all I can feel is like this is at the end of an era. And you know, sometimes when we as human beings say the word end, we always like to feel sad. But for me, I feel optimistic. I feel proud. I feel honored to have been given the opportunity to serve my country. And those are just the emotions that are running through me right now.
And in 2023, I understand that you became a Tobago Youth Awardee in the media category, and your leadership has since earned recognition from international regional bodies like the Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative. Amazing. How special was it for you to deliver your farewell address in front of the very community now that first recognized your potential?
It felt like a full circle moment last night. You know, like you said, 3 years ago, I was a media nominee myself. I had no clue that, you know, life was strategically setting me up to accept a responsibility I never knew I could have accessed. And, you know, as I stood there before the crowd and I started telling them my story and my journey as a young leader in Tobago, and you could see it resonating with them, I felt as though, you know, the youth space within the island is alive and that we have so many young persons with the potential that can take up the baton. When I looked to the left of me, all I was seeing was a sea of young persons who were anticipating winning an award. And it made me feel that, you know, when you look at the young people here on this island of Tobago, we are engaged. We want to contribute. We want to volunteer. And, you know, it's grateful that we have bodies such as the Division of Youth to give us that platform and that avenue to really achieve what we would love to achieve.
And throughout your tenure, you made it a deliberate point to bring an unapologetic Tobagonian perspective into regional international rooms where island struggles often went unheard. Why was that local grounding so essential to your diplomatic approach?
It was very central to me because as a CARICOM Youth Ambassador, you are expected to promote regional integration. You are somewhat a brand ambassador for the integration movement. But when I looked at the national, you know, status here in Trinidad and Tobago, I asked myself, how am I, as a young ambassador, supposed to advocate for integration when right at the national level, my own island, Tobago, seems to be a bit left out? And therefore, I decided to look within myself. I think as Tobagonians, we are natural born leaders. We are natural advocates. You know, we know how to fight. We know how to start a conversation. We know how to fight against injustice because it's not just in now. It is something that is emanated throughout our entire history. And therefore, when I entered these regional and international spaces and realized that Tobago's voice was absent, I decided to be the voice. I decided to show others that, you know, this is not about being against Trinidad or anything like that. Matter of fact, it's never been about being against Trinidad, but more so it's about being for Tobago and ensuring that Tobago's interests are ventilated within these spaces that have not seen this beautiful island in years.
Mm-hmm. And your advocacy took you from the CARICOM Secretariat in Guyana to even representing the Caribbean youth at the UN headquarters in New York. Looking back, what was the most defining moment on those global stages for you?
Firstly, in the context of the CARICOM Secretariat, I felt honored to have, enter these spaces where we can discuss how we as young people could really tap into the potential of the CARICOM single market and economy. And it didn't feel like I was working or, on this very serious mission because I was surrounded by other young ambassadors who look like me, who sung like me, and who understand some of the struggles we face as young people. So when we were able to come together and collaborate and work, we were able to see true developments within the regional context. And when I went to the United Nations, that felt like a dream come true because everyone knows at the UN, that's a very serious place. And the fact I was able to deliver a speech on SDG 17, but most importantly, I remember when the organizers reached out to me, she was like, Luke, you could be yourself, I wanted to talk in that Tobago Creole. I was like, Tobago Creole in the UN? She was like, yes, this is a Caribbean forum and I need you to be unapologetically you. And therefore, when I entered the UN, I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel like I had to put on a performance because I was allowed to just be the Tobagonian that I know myself to be. And therefore, I delivered that speech. I spoke about how Tobago, we are sometimes vulnerable to the environmental pressures. And therefore, if we can come together as a Caribbean, we can therefore, achieve more, we can achieve it faster, and we can really show the world what real regional integration can look like.
Look, you've done so many amazing things, and apart from your ambassadorial role, I know you've also founded TABSAT. So all of this you've done. Now, you're the best person to end the show this morning and give some advice to our young people, especially as so many, of our young ones are heading back to school and deciding what's next in their life. Give us a brief message for the young Tobagonians stepping into any sort of new role today.
To any young Tobagonian that would like to get into leadership, what I want to tell you is that sometimes you will enter these spaces and feel as though diluting who you are is the best response. Sometimes you will feel that playing that role, being an ornament is the best way to go, but that is not who you are. Your Tobagonianness is your superpower. And I said that in my speech last night. Who you are, where you come from, that should never be a secret. Because when you look at our history, especially in leadership and politics, there is nothing but legacy attached to being a Tobagonian. And therefore, I urge every young person to tap into their history. Be unapologetically you, because you will see how well that changes the trajectory of your leadership.
Thank you so much, Luke, for joining us this morning. And we look forward to seeing all of your success. And hopefully you can join us someday soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Take care. All right. That's it for us today. Tomorrow is finally Friday. I know you're excited about that. And we're going to see you 6 to 8 where we do this all over again. Thanks so much to all our guests. And that was it for Tobago Thursday on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Tune Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z. Or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugsbot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Tune Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Tune Time right here on TTT.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
long drives, or house limes.
We are always sweet.
Always 100. This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100. Guide you on your way. Sweet 100.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The Couva Tabakit Talpara Regional Corporation mobilized in full force to address the aftermath of a sudden downpour of rain. CTTRC Chairman Ryan Rampersad rallied workers on Wednesday evening to assist residents and undertake cleanup efforts across affected communities.
An exorbitant amount of rainfall in a very short space of time, so we are aware of the flooding in certain areas. The next step will be identifying those areas where we have some clogs and doing the necessary cleaning and unclogging of these water courses tomorrow and going into the weekend and so on.
Mr. Rampersad said that additional relief supplies have been prepared for residents affected by the flooding.
So we are filling some sandbags to take to some of the residents in Calcutta. I want to thank these residents for their patience this afternoon with us. Some of the residents, they have been coming here at the stockpile in Cuba also. So we're preparing some sandbags to send out, and our disaster management unit have been activated.
Flooding was reported in several communities, including Claxton Bay, Calcutta, and Gasparillo, following the sudden downpour. We will continue to monitor the situation and provide updates as more reports become available. In other news, and in an effort to promote agricultural development in Tobago, the Agricultural Development Bank has launched the Tobago Loan, a financing initiative designed to support the island's farming sector. Chief Executive Officer of the bank, Neil Ramsing, highlighted some of the key features and benefits of the new loan product.
As you know, this product is particularly designed only for the individuals in Tobago. This particular product offers an effective interest rate of 4% for all of our clients. As you know, we are a development bank. To help all of the farmers achieve their goals in financing. The ADB will fund up to 100% of the client's project.
Manager of the ADB's branch in Tobago, Shaylee Johnson Edwards, notes that the bank is also offering flexible repayment options for these loans.
So there is the offer of monthly payments, quarterly payments, or semi-annual payments, meaning 1 month, every 3 months, or every 6 months. This is to cater for those who may be now starting up and invested in their project, to give them the opportunity to repay comfortably, because we are a developmental bank, and also there is an offer up to 6 months moratorium to facilitate the clients.
Mr. Ramsing adds that the new loans specifically target new clients of the Agricultural Development Bank. In sport, the Trinidad and Tobago Under-19 women's cricket team extended their unbeaten run in the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars Championship, defeating the Leeward Islands by 8 wickets at the Coolidge Cricket Ground on Wednesday. After being sent into bowl, TNT ripped through the Leeward Islands batting lineup, dismissing them for just 50 runs in 16.2 overs. Captain Samara Ramnath starred again with 4 wickets, while Brianna Haricharan added 3 scalps. Only 3 Leeward's batters managed double figures. In reply, TNT chased down the target comfortably, reaching 52 for 2 in 13.2 overs. Amrita Ramtahal top scored with 17 not out as the team sealed their 4th straight victory of the tournament. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. On behalf of our entire team, have a great day.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.